Hey, today I've got some disturbing, untold Reddit confession threads that genuinely had me sleeping with the lights on. If you want more of these videos, hit subscribe and drop a like. Let's get into it. My girlfriend, 24-year-old female, finishes my sentences before I even think them, and I'm starting to lose track of what's mine anymore. This one dropped on r/nosleep 3 days ago from a user called Static in the Wires. Opens like a relationship post. Guy talking about his new girlfriend, how perfect everything is. Almost suspiciously perfect. But what makes this one stick is how slowly things go wrong. So I, 26-year-old male, am a software developer. Been dating Lena, 24-year-old female, for about 3 months now, and honestly, she's incredible. Like, almost too perfect, if that makes sense. At first, it was just little things. She'd text me the exact second I was reaching for my phone to text her. She'd finish my jokes before I got to the punchline. She'd show up with groceries I was craving but hadn't said out loud. I told myself it was just compatibility. We just click. Then, last week we went to this restaurant. I picked a dish from the very back of the menu, a lamb tagine I couldn't even pronounce. Never ordered anything like it in my life. When it arrived, she'd already seasoned it, cut it into my preferred portion sizes. She leaned in and whispered, "You always get this." I laughed it off, but my hands were shaking under the table. That night, I was scrolling my camera roll and I found photos. Me, eating that exact dish. At tables I don't recognize. On what look like dates I have zero memory of. The timestamps go back months before we met. I don't know how to explain this without sounding insane, so I'm just going to say it. I think my girlfriend knows what I'm going to do before I do, and I'm starting to think she always has. And that last line just sits with you. He's not panicking yet. He's staring at photos of himself doing things he's never done and quietly asking whether his own mind belongs to him. This story is just getting started. So at this point, OP is trying to be rational about the whole thing. He's a developer. He writes code for a living. So naturally, he does what any engineer would do when something doesn't make sense. He starts running tests. I decided to approach this like a debugging problem. Monday, I took a completely random bus. Line 40. I've never been on it in my life. Got off at a stop I didn't recognize, walked into a used bookstore I'd never seen before, picked up a romance novel. I hate romance novels. I went home and didn't say a word about any of it. That night, Lena texts me, "How was that bookstore on 5th? Find anything good?" I never told her. I never posted about it. I didn't even have my phone's location on. So I escalated. I started using a random number generator to decide where I'd go, flipped coins for yes or no decisions, tried to remove myself from the equation entirely. It didn't matter. The coin landed on whatever side matched what she'd already casually mentioned. The RNG spit out the exact location she'd referenced at breakfast. Every single time. I started keeping a journal. Her predictions on the left, what actually happened on the right. 47 entries. She was never wrong. Not once, not even close. And here's the part that's hard to explain. It wasn't fear, exactly. It was this feeling like my own thoughts were arriving used. Like I was reading lines someone else had already written, and I was just performing them on cue. I told my friend Marcus about it. He laughed, said I was overthinking things, said I should just enjoy having a girl who pays attention. Then Marcus texted me 2 hours later. "Bro, your girl just texted me to tell you to stop worrying. I never gave her my number. How did she get my number?" And that right there is when this crosses a line. You can explain away a girlfriend who knows your coffee order. You can chalk that up to paying attention. But a girlfriend texting your friend she's never met, on a number she was never given, about a private conversation she wasn't part of, that is something else entirely. So at this point, OP is starting to come apart. Not dramatically, just this quiet erosion, where the ground under every decision he makes feels hollow. I went to a doctor. I thought maybe I was losing time, blacking out, something medical that would explain the photos and the memories I don't have. MRI came back clean. Blood work, normal. The doctor told me I was healthy and maybe just stressed. So I tried one more thing. I got in my car with no GPS, no plan, and just drove. 3 hours of random turns down roads I have never seen before. I ended up in some small town I couldn't even name and pulled into a diner because I was starving. The waitress smiled at me like she knew me and said, "Your girlfriend called ahead, said you'd want the usual." I have never been to this place. I don't have a usual. I drove home shaking. That night, Lena made dinner like nothing happened. I didn't say a word about the diner. She looked up from the stove and said, "How was the pie at that diner? The cherry one, right?" I never ordered pie. I checked my bank statement. There was a charge for cherry pie at a diner I had never been to before today. I don't think I'm making choices anymore. I think I'm just performing them. The comments on this one went somewhere OP probably was not ready for. The whispering for 4 hours straight without blinking isn't human behavior. I don't care how devoted someone is. That's not love, that's observation. That's what gutted me the most. I've slept next to her dozens of times thinking she was beside me. She was across the room. Every single night I felt safe was a night she was sitting in that chair. And the thing that keeps me up now? I checked the footage from the night before I installed the camera. I didn't install a camera that night, but there's footage. She looked directly into the lens. Brother, the photos on your phone of meals you never ordered is the part that broke me. That's not prediction. That's someone editing your life in real time. That one sat with me for a while. OP came back a few days later with an update post. I watched the footage, and I don't think my choices have ever been mine. I took your advice, all of it. I searched for Lena online. Almost nothing. No social media older than 4 months. Her landlord says she moved in years ago, but could not pin down when exactly. Her coworkers describe memories of her that contradict each other. One says she started 2 years back, another swears she was there when the office opened in 2019. Neither could describe a single specific moment with her. So I set up a camera, hidden in my bookshelf, aimed at my bedroom. Checked the footage the next morning. At 3:07 a.m., Lena walks in. I never gave her a key. She sits in the chair across from my bed, perfectly still, eyes open. She does not blink. 4 hours. Then, she gets up and goes through everything I own. Books, drawers, my laptop, moving objects by millimeters, changes you would never notice. The audio? She is whispering the entire time. I amplified it. She is narrating my entire next day, present tense, moment by moment, including a phone call with my mother I had not planned. Word for word dialogue. I called my mom the next morning. The conversation was identical. Every pause, every word, even her little laugh at the exact same spot. I sat in my car after and I could not move, because I do not know if I chose to call her or if the narration made me. The comment section was not giving advice anymore. It was full panic. The fact that the conversation with your mom played out word for word means either she's scripting your mother too, or she's scripting you. Neither option is okay. There's a third option that's worse. She's not scripting anyone. She just already knows. Like she's seen the whole thing play out before and she's just maintaining continuity. The rearranging things by millimeters, the whispering the next day's script. She's not controlling him. She's keeping the timeline on track. I've read a lot on this sub, but you always get this about a dish you've literally never eaten is going to live in my head for a while. OP came back one last time. And honestly, this one barely qualifies as a post. I watched the footage, and I don't think my choices have ever been mine. I confronted her. I sat her down and asked her straight up what she is. She didn't flinch, didn't blink. She just smiled. Not surprised, not angry, not anything. She said, "You were always going to ask." I asked, "What are you?" She tilted her head like I'd asked what color the sky was and said, "I'm the part of you that knows what comes next. I've always been here. You just started noticing." I don't know how to explain what happened after that. My thoughts don't feel like mine anymore. They haven't for weeks, but now I can feel it. Every sentence I start forming, she already said it. Every choice I make was hers first. I'm not scared anymore. That's the part that scares me. I think I finally understand what she means. And the worst part is, mid-sentence. That's where it cuts off. No edit, no follow-up, no replies from OP. The account goes completely dark. But then, someone in the comments found something. Please tell me you've shown the camera footage to someone else. You need a witness confirming what you're seeing before you confront her. Has anyone else seen this post on r/relationship advice? Brand new account, created 2 full years before OP says they even met. The writing style is identical to how OP quotes Lena talking. It just says, "My boyfriend finally understands. We've never been happier. He doesn't fight it anymore." And that's the question this one leaves you with. Is Lena something beyond explanation? Is this the most elaborate gaslighting ever documented? Or is the real horror simpler? That your choices were never yours to begin with, and she was just kind enough to let you think they were? I don't have an answer for you. But I do have another story for you today, so let's keep it moving. Every time I, 27-year-old female, come home from the grocery store, there's something in my bag I didn't buy. This one was posted to r/Let's Not Meet 5 days ago by Grocery Girl Throw. The title is creepy enough on its own, but I need you to understand where this story goes over the next few updates is on a completely different level. And I will say, the small details in this one really matter, so pay attention. She starts the post off pretty casually. So I, 27-year-old female, live alone in a quiet apartment complex. No roommates, no pets, just me. I enjoy grocery shopping. It's my solo errand, my little weekly reset. Podcast on, take my time in the aisles, nobody bothers me. A few months ago, I started noticing random items in my bags when I got home. A candy bar I don't even like. A can of soup I know I didn't grab. I figured the cashier mixed something up or I was on autopilot. But then I found a box of cereal I used to eat as a kid. My grandma always bought it for me. That cereal was discontinued 6 years ago. I laughed nervously, figured maybe they brought it back. Then a few weeks later, I unpacked a tube of lip balm. Very specific brand and shade. The exact one my mom wore every day before she passed. I just stood in my kitchen holding it. That night, I pulled out my receipt and went through every line. The lip balm wasn't on there. I didn't pay for it. Nobody rang it up. So I pulled up my dashcam footage from the store parking lot. A figure in a dark hoodie was walking up to my open trunk while I was off returning the cart. They reached in, placed something into one of my bags, and walked away. I froze the frame and tried to zoom. I couldn't make out a face. That moment right there, that's when it stopped being a funny story about extra groceries. And I want you to hold on to that uneasy feeling right there, because what she uncovers next takes this whole story somewhere you are absolutely not going to expect. After seeing that dashcam footage, OP did not sleep that night. She needed to understand how deep this went. And the answer was worse than she expected. I made a list. Every mystery item I could remember. Got to 8, and I know I am missing some. Written out together, they told a story that made me sick. The cereal was a brand my grandmother bought me as a kid, discontinued over a decade ago. The lip balm was the exact one my mom carried before she passed. And a birthday candle shaped like the number 28. My birthday is weeks away. I am turning 28. This person knows things you do not learn from watching someone in a parking lot. I changed everything. Different stores, different days, different times. Did not matter. Items kept showing up, so I started locking my trunk the second I finished loading and standing guard next to my car. 2 weeks and nothing appeared. I almost breathed. Then I was inside a store and felt something in my jacket pocket that was not there before. A small glass bottle of vanilla extract. I dropped it because my hands would not stop shaking. This person was close enough to touch me, and I never felt them. I filed a police report. The officer was polite, but had nothing to work with. No threats, no damage. He said to call if it escalates. I cried in my car in the station lot because I have never felt more alone. That right there is where this story crosses a line. Everything before this you could almost explain away. Store errors, weird coincidences, maybe you just forgot what you grabbed. But someone slipping something into your jacket pocket while you are standing in a grocery aisle and you never even feel them next to you? That is not a mix-up. That is someone who has been watching long enough to know exactly how close they can get. And now she is right back where she started. Alone, no answers, and whoever this is just proved they can get even closer. So at this point, she's done waiting for someone else to take it seriously. She decides if nobody's going to help her, she'll build her own proof. I ordered a porch camera off Amazon, one of those small ones you can hide in a planter. I upgraded my dash cam too, started parking directly under the brightest light in every lot. I told a few friends what was happening. Most of them got quiet in that way people do when they don't know what to say. My friend Kayla straight up asked if maybe I was just forgetting what I put in my cart. I love her, but I wanted to scream. I know what I buy. I started losing sleep, checking the deadbolt 3-4 times before bed, scanning every face at the store like I'd somehow just know. I thought about moving, but I couldn't do it. I refused to let someone I can't even see rearrange my entire life. I checked a full week of porch footage and there was nothing. Nobody. I almost deleted the app. Then I pulled up one more night, 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, and my stomach just dropped. There was someone standing on my porch, face pressed close to my front door, not knocking, not moving, just standing there. 4 minutes. I could see their breath fogging up the glass. I scrubbed back through older footage. It happened Monday night too, and the Thursday before that, and the week before that. This wasn't new. This person had been coming to my door in the middle of the night for weeks, maybe longer, and I had no idea. The grocery bags weren't the beginning. They were just the part I noticed. The comments on this one went exactly where you'd expect. The fact that he was walking away from your trunk while you returned the cart means he timed it. He watched you load, waited for you to walk away, and moved in. That's rehearsed. Your mom's lip balm brand. He somehow knew that. That means he's been through your things or talked to people who know you. This goes deeper than following you to the store. That's exactly what keeps me up at night. I haven't bought that brand since she passed 3 years ago. I mentioned it one time at a work lunch, just in passing, that my mom always smelled like vanilla mint. He was 2 seats away. I didn't even think he was listening. The detective said his log had that entry circled with a heart next to it. This is where everything breaks open. OP came back a few days later with an update post. They found his apartment, and I can't stop throwing up. I went back to the police with everything. The porch footage, the dash cam clips, all of it. This time they actually listened. They enhanced the parking lot footage, got a better angle, a clearer frame. And when they showed me the still, I knew him instantly. 2 cubicles down from me at work. A guy I have spoken to maybe 5 times in 2 years. Quiet, polite, the kind of person you forget exists. I couldn't breathe. They got a warrant for his apartment, and what they found, I can't. There was a wall. Printed photos of me at the store, walking my dog, checking my mailbox, and sleeping. Through my bedroom window. He had a notebook he called his gift log. 11 months of entries tracking every single item he put in my bags. Notes like, she smiled at the register today, she deserves something sweet, and she looked tired, left her the lavender candle. He built an entire relationship with me in his head. I sat in that cubicle 2 spots away from him for 2 years, and I had no idea. The comment section went somewhere dark with this one. 11 months? This man was doing this for almost a year before you even got suspicious? I am genuinely terrified for you. I work in law enforcement, and the breathing against the door thing is more common than people think with this type of offender. It's a proximity ritual. Please take this seriously, even with the restraining order. Proximity ritual is exactly the right term. These individuals escalate in predictable stages: observation, insertion into routine, physical closeness, then contact. The grocery bag thing was him inserting himself into her daily life without her knowing. The porch visits were stage 3. She caught it right before stage 4. She still had to go back to that office the next day, knowing he'd been 2 cubicles away the entire time. So here's where things landed after all of it came crashing down. The restraining order went through pretty fast after what they found. My company was actually decent about it. They transferred me to a different office across town, no questions beyond what HR needed. I broke my lease, found the new apartment in a completely different neighborhood. New locks, new routines, new everything. I should feel safe, I know that. But I still check every single item in my bags against my receipt before I leave the parking lot. Every single time. I can't leave my car unlocked for even a second, not even sitting in my own driveway. If someone stands too close behind me in a checkout line, my whole body locks up. I flinch. I know I'm supposed to be moving past this. I'm trying. But here's the thing, and I almost didn't include this because I don't know what it means yet. Last week, I got home from the store. New store, new neighborhood, new routine. I was checking my bags like I always do now, and there was something I didn't buy. It wasn't food. It was a receipt. From a store 3 blocks from my new apartment. A store I have never once been to. I don't know if the restraining order is working. I don't know if this is him or someone else, or just some horrible coincidence. I just know I'm not done looking over my shoulder. Reactions to this one hit different. The birthday candle detail made my stomach drop. He knows your birthday, he knows your age, he's counting down. Please tell me you've talked to the police. This story sticks with you because it poisons something completely ordinary. Not a dark alley or a broken window, a bag of groceries, the trunk of your car, your own front door. You do this errand every week without thinking, and now you won't. You'll check, you'll double count, you'll glance behind you in the parking lot. That is the last story for today.